A very good evening and welcome to yet another edition of Times exclusive airing on Times Network. My name is Banda. Glad you could join us tonight. The program is coming to you courtesy of Rainbow Paints.
Wow, I think K-Pitch looks amazing on the door.
The electric blue calls it for me.
Come on, look at the tango, candy pink, burnt orange, okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow Paints. Peace of mind. Part of the deal.
My guest tonight is the immediate past president of UDF, the Honorable Atupele Muluzi. Honorable Muluzi, thank you very much and glad you could join us. Madzuloano, welcome.
Thank you very much.
You have just finished 4 major rallies. One in Mangochi, the other one in Blantyre, the other one in Lilongwe, and just recently up north. What was the purpose of these rallies?
Yes, Brian. We have been up and down the country, in all the 4 regions of the country. As you know, this year marks 30 years since we attained multi-party democracy here in Malawi. Ufulu ozutela muliatoka.
Yes.
Nde tinaganiza kuti tafikira Malawi takumbutse kufunikira kwa democracy chifukwa ambiri mwina lero anayiwala kuti democracy matanthauza chani. Democracy is extremely important because when you're talking about democracy tukukamba za maufulu, freedom of choice, human rights, good governance, transparency, and accountability. So it's an extremely important discussion to have to remind Malawians the importance of democratic values and the importance of ensuring that we safeguard and protect our democracy.
And what messages are people telling you in these rallies?
When we move up and down the country, we notice that we are having deep problems, huge challenges, and mostly that is to do with the economic situation in the country. As you know, recently the International Monetary Fund released its findings that Malawi is now the 3rd poorest country in the world. And you can see this on the ground. It's etched on the faces of Malawians right across the country. Zinthu sizili bwino, chuma sichikwenda bwino, zinthu zavuta. Ndikuona ngati kuti pale mavuto akulu kwambiri mdziko muno. Ndiye tiyenera kupeza solution kuti tithetse mavuto amenewo.
What are mavuto, if you can just give me 3 major problems, have rocked this country?
I think the major problem in Kenya Juma, I don't even need to give you 3. It's the economy. The economy is not working. Malawians have no money. Alibe chakuja, madirambili, alibe ndrama, tukondo kutuka ronga, kulivuta njala, itinandi cyclone, mavuta hakulu kwa basi, ajuma. Amene akuoneka dziko lonse la Malawi. Tukutsalia nditu Brian, zinthu sizili bwino.
And why now? Mavuto wa ankira panopa, what is the problem?
Ndikuona kuti mavuto, of course, pali factors ambiri. Koma ntchito ya utsogoleri ndikuonetsetsa kuti mukupeza solutions, njira kuti tathandize Amalawi kuti mavuto amenewa achepe, mavuto amenewa asachitike chifukwa dziko la Malawi Brian siyenera kukhala pa number 3 pa maiko osaukitsitsa pa dziko lonse lapansi. Mdziko la Malawi kunalibe nkhondo. Mdziko la Malawi we've never had a civil strife. We should not be at the bottom. We should not be number 3. Dziko la Malawi Brian ndi dziko lolemera kwambiri. Mulungu anatidalitsa with huge natural resources. We have minerals. We have the largest rutile deposit potential in the world. Rare earth. We have uranium. We have gold. We have huge natural resources, forestry, water, agriculture potential, labor potential, potential for oil and gas. Malawi is a very rich country, Brian. We should not be at number 3 in the world of the poorest countries.
So we are number 3 in the world.
In the world.
Maiko osaukitsitsa kwambiri.
Yes, indeed, by number 3. Izizi ziyenda kukhudza Malawi alliance. Kodi chifukwa chani tili pamenepo? Kodi chifukwa chani tafika pamenepo? Sitimayenera pamene tilipo. And we have to do something. And that is why, as leadership, the job of a leader is to find solutions. We need to sit down. And Malawi does not need to be among the poorest countries in the world. In fact, we should be at one of the fastest growing economies in the world.
Tikhoza kusinda?
Zoteka.
Chofunika ndi chani?
Choyambirira.
Yes.
Choyambirira, number 1.
Yes.
Tiyenera kukhala ndi ndondomeko, consistent policies that are in tune with the aspirations of Malawians. Kumvetsetsa bwinobwino kuti kodi Malawi afuna kuti tathandize njira zotani, komanso tikhale ma policies amene akugwirizana ndi maloto a Malawi. Chinthu chachiwiri mene ndafotokozera, Mulungu anatipasa zonse Brian. Anatipasa zonse. Tili ndi ulemerero wambiri. Pakali pano timayenera kukhala pansi kuti tipange bwanji kuti dziko la Malawi mzaka 10 osapitira zaka 10 kuti tisinthiretu dziko lathu. Ndizotheka. It's very possible. Monga mukudziwa kuti tili ndi akatswiri osiyanasiyana, ma experts kuno ndi maiko osiyanasiyana amene akhoza kutithandiza. Ndizotheka Brian kuti Malawi ikhale upper middle income status, not lower middle income status, upper middle income status, and mwinaso kupitirira within a space of 10 years. Ndikoza kuonesani njira zache imene tikuzopanga.
10 years?
Within 10 years, it is possible to transform Malawi from where it is today to even an upper income, even beyond
upper income
status.
In 10 years?
In 10 years. Very possible.
Mungagwire pati?
Mudzioti maiko, for example, in the Gulf states.
Yeah.
Tikatengera maiko ena ngati China, they did it in 40 years. We can do it in under 10 years. Maiko in the Gulf, for example, the Gulf states, anapeza mgodi wa oil, kapena anapeza migodi ya gas. Atapeza oil on gas, kapena gas, kapena oil. Amakumba, atakumba sukuti amagulitsa oil, kupeza ndrama, ndio kupanga build infrastructure, kapena kupanga chiduku kwa maiko mao. Amapita what they call futures market, where they're able to project the future earnings of oil, the future earnings of gas, and then they established a sovereign wealth fund, $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund, based on the future projections of the natural resource. Donating Andrama's manager and built the infrastructure, built the economies. This is how the Gulf states were able to transform the economies. Malawi today is far richer, has more natural resources than any of the Gulf states.
Than the Gulf states?
Any of the Gulf states. Most of these Gulf states only have one commodity, whether it's oil or it's gas. No other natural resources. Malawi has got potential for oil, gas, minerals.
We have gas?
Yes, absolutely. We have minerals, as I've explained, the largest rutile deposit in the world, possibly the largest rare earth deposit in the world. We have graphite. The new battery will be from graphene, from the graphite. We have huge reserves of graphite. We have gold. We have huge natural resources. We have water resource. We have potential for agriculture. We have a young labor force. There is no reason why we can use new mechanisms to use this as a basis for establishing a Malawi sovereign wealth fund, $1 trillion sovereign wealth fund. We have the experts who can do it. We have the universities here in Malawi who can critique this. I can facilitate the invitation of these experts that we work with them.
You know them.
Together with National Planning Commission.
Yeah.
Since I left, since the last election in 2020,
Yeah.
I traveled extensively in many nations. I met a lot of leaders, experts, to try to understand how they led in their nations, how they're able to transform a country that is from a failed state to a successful economy, successful country. I have been able to meet with these global experts. I believe that if we can engage with our experts here, National Planning Commission, our universities, our leaders, and have a conversation about this solution, I believe that we'll find that this is a credible way to how we can transform our economy. We have all the resources. There's no reason why we should be at the bottom. There's no reason why Malawi should be a poor country. Malawi is a very, very rich country, and we can do it. We can do it within 10 years, and it's possible to do it. The only issue that must be addressed is the issue of credibility, the issue of corruption.
Okay.
Because when you're building such a system, you need to ensure that you have competent people, but also you have honest people. Because you can find that you're building such a fund, sovereign wealth fund, based on our natural resources, but it's fueled with corruption. This cannot happen if there's corruption, if there's dishonesty, if you don't have competent people. The confidence will come in if we decisively deal with the issue of corruption. If we have competent people, this will bring in the confidence that is required in order to build such a facility.
President Lazarus Chakwera, speaking on 6th July this year, he said that we are on the right path in as far as corruption is concerned. Do you think he's doing enough?
Absolutely not. Brian, we are not on the right path. Malawi is riddled with corruption. And that is the reason why we're in the situation we are today. The bottom three. We have lost international confidence.
Okay.
We have lost donor confidence. We have lost local confidence. There is not a month that goes by that you don't hear of a financial scandal. It is bad. It is really, really bad. And the situation is getting out of hand. We are not decisively dealing with corruption. And the perception is even far worse. In fact, we have given a perception that Malawi is not dealing decisively with corruption. If we were, we would have had the confidence from the international community, whether it's from the IMF, World Bank, and investor confidence, and local confidence. But this is a problem. It is lip service. There is no real action in the fight against corruption.
Lip service on President Chakwera?
I think so, yes, absolutely.
You think he could have done better?
Absolutely. When you are a leader,
yes,
you are a carrier of destinies.
Okay.
This is a time where Malawi is at the bottom. We have never been at this level. We're at rock bottom. The third poorest country in the world, Brian. A country that has never had a war. A country that has never had civil strife. There's nothing to celebrate about. We are a great nation. If we put together a competent, honest team of Malawians, we have brilliant Malawians that have solutions, that can work together with the international community, enhance confidence. Malawi does not need to be at the bottom of the third poorest country in the world. We don't deserve to be here, Brian. The people of Malawi do not deserve to be here.
Yeah, but President Chakwera gave specific examples. He has arrested some people, even those that were very close to him. He gave so many examples. He's pumped in a lot of money to ACB. Isn't this enough?
It's not enough, Brian. We know what's been going on. Let's not beat about the bush. We know what's really going on. We are not decisively dealing with corruption. Let me also explain.
Yes.
Democracy is very much premised around getting our politics right,
Yeah.
getting our governance right, and getting our economics right. And this is how the people of Malawi can harness the democratic dividend. And democratic dividend will come by having a stronger economy. What we're witnessing now is weakened institutions of government. We have seen weakened institutions of government. We have seen a weaker parliament. We have seen a weaker civil society. We have seen oversight institutions. When you're fighting corruption, it's not just the Anti-Corruption Bureau.
Yeah.
It is the critical stakeholders.
Yeah.
It is the institutions of government being able to function independently. Institutions of government that are strengthened together with the strong media, together with the strong civil society. We're not seeing that. We're seeing lip service. And this is the problem that we're having today. Over the last few years, we have seen the emergence of populism. And this is populist leaders that talk the talk,
Yeah.
but don't walk the walk. And this is where we're having a problem. They sound great, the speeches are great, but the action on the ground is very different. Corruption is rampant. There's need for decisive action. There's need to strengthen the institutions of government so that they are strengthened. We need a stronger civil society. We need a stronger voices, a stronger parliament, stronger judiciary. This is how you build a strong nation. If you remember, during the time of late Bingu wa Mutharika,
Yeah.
we had a very strong civil society, very strong parliament, very strong oversight, and he performed. So once you weaken these institutions, that's where we find ourselves at the bottom three. There's nothing to celebrate about. We can do better, and we will do better. Malawi will be a great nation. And Malawi, I believe, in the next 10 years, once we put together, this is going to happen, once we put together our minds, our best, honest people, competent people, we will be one of the fastest growing economies.
Competent people where?
We have very competent people.
Yeah, but where should we
in
put
government,
them?
in
So
government?
in government?
In government.
Okay.
We need, the problem we have is making sure that we have honest and competent people. Competence is very important.
You have been in government before, senior government minister. Would you say you are an example of a competent man?
I have served
Yes.
in various government positions
Yeah.
at the highest level, in various ministerial positions.
Yeah.
I have extensive experience, and I have managed to manage and learn how government functions, and also be able to work within government in Malawi. What I can tell you is that I'm uniquely placed within my generation to start a new conversation about how we can transform Malawi. The challenge, Brian, is that we're at the bottom. This is rock bottom for us. I don't think we've been here before. We are the lowest, we're at the poorest, our people are suffering, and we seem not to be getting out of this mess. We seem not to be able to find and develop a culture of finding solutions. We need to start to find solutions in terms of how we're going to address Malawi's situation. We cannot be, look at our neighbors, Zambia, Tanzania, Mozambique, ahead of us. This is not a good situation to be in. We have to fix this situation. And it starts by having very honest conversations about what is wrong and how we can fix this problem.
So many people have been calling you to come back to UDF as its leader. and the rallies that you have been conducting, I have managed to attend some of them. Those calls have been coming. I understand kunali anthu amene adaenda mpaka kubwera ku nyumba kwanu ku Banda kuti muime. Are you going to avail yourself for leadership of the United Democratic Front and of this country?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yes, I am. I've made it very clear that I've had a number of conversations globally with leaders about the situation in Malawi, and I've also been able to learn from them how they've been able to address similar crises, similar challenges in their countries.
Mm-hmm.
Malawi is heading towards a failed state. This is not a good position to be in. We are very close to it, becoming a failed state. And this requires my generation of leaders to stand up, to get people together, to give them hope. And what is extremely important now is to raise the dignity of our people by giving them hope that it is possible for us to get out of this situation. We have some of the finest minds in the world who are Malawians, who are here in the diaspora. They've not been given an opportunity to contribute towards the conversations about how we can transform our economy, how we can transform our country. And I know we can do it, and we will do it. So Brian, absolutely. But as a Democrat, I will be presenting my name to the UDF convention. I'll be presenting my name to Malawians. And it will be up to the people to elect their leader. And I want to assure you, my name will be presented for the leadership of this country.
2025?
Absolutely.
As a running mate or as a president?
We cannot play second fiddle anymore. If I'm going for the job, it will be for the top job. As leader, as president, to serve the people. But it will be the people of Malawi who will decide. The people of Malawi will decide who their next leader will be.
So you have done this before. You have run as a candidate before.
Yes.
What would be the difference this time around if the UDF convention elect you as its leader? And are you certain you get it?
The people will choose who their next leader will be. But I will also say that I'm presenting my name for leadership. And
of this country.
Of this country.
Yeah.
And I present my name with a background of experience in government, untainted by corruption. Untainted by corruption. I can stand firm and challenge any Malawian, any institution, to investigate thoroughly my time in any ministry, any government position I've ever held in this country.
You were asked to go to ACB. What was that? What was that all about?
As a witness, they wanted me to witness transactions that may have taken place in the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Lands.
Yeah.
So I was there as a witness. I have been very diligent in my service to the people of Malawi, and I stand firm that I do not condone corruption. Corruption is an evil. Corruption erodes confidence, both internally and externally. It damages the economy. It robs the population of its future, and it destroys the country. Corruption is bad. One thing I must tell you is I am a Democrat who believes in democratic principles of good governance, transparency, and accountability. I also believe in the protection of human rights, private property, and also the reforms of education and healthcare system. And this is what Democrats believe. That is why in my work, I've always served this country with diligence, with honesty, with transparency. And I think this is what this country needs.
How do you talk about honesty? You are not yet the leader of the UDF. You were in Kenya recently. You told a private media, television there, that you are the leader of UDF. Was that the slip of the tongue or what?
Moving on, Malawi's second president since independence, Atupele Muluzi's son, Atupele Muluzi, has expressed confidence in clinching the country's 2025 presidency and succeeding incumbent President Lazarus Chakwera. Speaking to Hope TV in Nairobi, Atupele said he is pushing for a transformation agenda for his people, stating that Africa is clamoring for change. Atupele, who will be taking his second stab at the highest seat, is the party leader of the United Democratic Front Party. He further said Kenya and Malawi share a lot of common history that they can share from each other as African partners.
First of all, my name is Atupele Muluzi. I am the leader of the United Democratic Front Party in Malawi, which is one of the largest major political parties that governed the country from 2004 to around 2019. It is a party that fought for democratic change and transformation in Malawi, and in the next 18 months I will be vying for the presidency of Malawi. This will be my second attempt for the presidency of the country. I've served in various positions of government for over 20 years as a member of parliament, and have held about 6 senior cabinet positions in the government of Malawi. But I'm very happy to be here in Nairobi, but also at the same time to thank Almighty God. We give Him honor, we give Him glory, we praise His holy name, and at the same time to pray for the people of Kenya and Africa. I think this is a very pivotal moment for Africa, and Malawi is a very key to the development and growth of the continent. And as a young leader, I started this journey over 20 years ago as a young member of parliament, and rose up the ranks in various positions of leadership in my country. And I believe that I join a generation that believes in transformation, that believes that this is a time for the rise of the continent of Africa, the rise in dignity, the rise in wealth, the rise in opportunities, sharing of ideas, and being able to contribute to the world. And I think it requires a young generation of leaders that come together to push a new agenda, a new thinking for the development of our continent. When I look at the opportunities that are there, I'm also looking at how we can leverage upon new technologies, especially when you look at the digital economy and how that can be leveraged to provide economic opportunities for the people right across the continent.
I'm not the president of UDF.
Yeah, but you told Kenyans that you are the president of the UDF.
No, I did not say president of UDF. I'm one of the leaders of UDF. I remain a leader of the UDF, in the leadership of the UDF. And this is, you have seen throughout the rallies we've been holding throughout the country.
Yes. So the word was a leader.
I'm part of the leaders. When you go there,
yeah.
I'm a leader of UDF. I'm part of the leadership of UDF.
So you don't have any regret in what you told the Kenyans?
It is a fact. It is fact.
Yeah.
I'm a UDF leader. Am I not a UDF leader? I am one. I'm not the president of UDF. The president is Honorable Lilian Patel. And
so did you tell the Kenyan television that you are the president of the UDF or the leader of the UDF?
The leadership, with the leadership of UDF.
If we play this tape,
yes.
It will come out the way you're saying?
Yes, as leader of UDF.
Okay.
But not the president of UDF. There's a huge difference. These are semantics. I think what is important, Brian, is I think this is a distraction from the core message that I'm talking about is making sure that we...
A distraction from?
From the message of what we are discussing about the future of this country.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about transparency and honesty,
yeah,
you're very much welcome to question whether indeed anything that has taken place is indeed in line with transparency and accountability.
Yeah, so it's becoming certain, because as far as we know, there is no any competitor that has come up to challenge you at the UDF convention. So it's coming very clear that you get back as the UDF president. Now, that automatically saves you as the candidate of the UDF for 2025 elections. My earlier question was, you have done this before. There was Ungono generation. You partnered with APM in the last elections. What message now for 2025?
We are rock bottom. We're the third poorest country in the world.
Yeah.
We don't have to be here. Our democratic institutions are failing. We have no strong institutions of government. We need Democrats, democratic leaders in the world. Malawi needs more democracy, not less democracy. More democracy is making sure that we have stronger institutions of government to fight corruption. We have stronger mechanisms that deal with ensuring that our people get out of poverty. We deal with the reforms of a health sector, our education sector, strengthen human rights, strengthen good governance, protect private property. This is what I believe in, and this is what I've dedicated 20 years of my life. If you check me correctly, I've been consistent about democracy, good governance, and ensuring that there's transparency and accountability in governance. Governance is something that I have defended. And where I see there's a problem is where I see all of this failing in Malawi. And as a result, our country is sinking further into poverty. And yet we have all the mechanisms to become a very successful and very wealthy nation. I believe that my candidature will instill confidence and hope in our people, especially young people, the youth, and women, because the women are the carriers of destiny. They are the carriers of generations. They are mothers. They need to have the confidence that their children have a future, a bright future. And I am standing to instill confidence in our people that they can have the confidence that we will transform our country. We will strengthen our institutions of governance. We will decisively deal with corruption. And we will make Malawi a model country for the world.
Honorable Muluzi, let's take a short break. We'll be back with you in a moment.
Thank you very much.
In case you're just joining us, this is Times Exclusive, airing on Times Network. I'm joined by the Honorable Atupele Muluzi, the immediate past president of the United Democratic Front. We'll take a short break. We'll be back momentarily.
Wow. I think K-Pitch looks amazing on that wall.
The electric blue calls it for me.
Come on. Look at the tango, candy pink, bent orange, okay, sweet lime.
Do you like what you see? You can dream it and live it. Download your Rainbow app today and begin the magic of transforming your home into a fabulous space. Rainbow Paints. Peace of mind. Part of the deal.
In case you're just joining us, this is Times Exclusive. We are honored to have the Honorable Atupele Muluzi, the immediate past president of the United Democratic Front, and he's also just confirmed that he's going to run for the candidacy of UDF in the coming convention, but also he's going to avail himself for the leadership of this country. When is the convention coming?
The party leader, Honorable Lilian Patel, has made a number of pronouncements that she will be convening the National Executive Committee in due course, and the party will announce the date of the convention.
When I asked in Mangochi whether the UDF president now, the Honorable Lilian Patel, is interested in running, she said no. Have you pushed her not to run?
I have tremendous respect and admiration for Honorable Lilian Patel. Let me tell you something, Brian. There's a reason why, when I stepped back, I decided that my successor should be Honorable Lilian Patel. It's one of the main reasons is because I would like to see more women in positions of power, more women in positions of influence. Because women, as I mentioned earlier, are the carriers of destiny, the carriers of greatness. I remember that when I was a child, my first teacher was my mother. She was my first teacher, and I know the influence that mothers have on children. And I know that the mothers of this country have dreams and aspirations for their children and for the future of this country. So I'm exceptionally proud when I see women in positions of influence, positions of power. And that is why I am proud to have Honorable Lilian Patel as my president. But, as you know, we are going towards an election. And UDF is a democratic party that believes in the power of choice, that leaders must be chosen by the electorate, by the people. And therefore, there should be an opportunity for the UDF to choose its next leader. This is going to be an extremely important election, and I have full confidence that the UDF will make the right choice in its next leader. And I will respect that decision. But I have also presented my name for the candidacy of the UDF, hoping that the leadership will have the confidence to re-elect me as their leader and their torchbearer at the next election.
What kind of government do you have in mind if the people of this country elect you as president in 2025?
I think there are two immediate priorities.
Yeah.
One is the economy, chuma cha dziko lino. Number two is the issue of food security, chakudya. These will be the two top priorities. On the economy is immediately to stabilize the economy and to grow the economy, but not just grow, I think to jump. I think the younger generation is looking at how we can jump, leapfrog, jump, so that we build the economy much faster and we build the confidence, the dignity of our people much faster, and it is possible to do it. So how we're going to do it is having a very clear and consistent policies that address the immediate needs of the population. And I believe the number one issue, as I've mentioned, is the economy, making sure that Malawi akale ndi makobidi, zimene zafuta kwambiri, ndi kusoka ndalama. Malawians would like to have money.
And how long after you are sworn in the event that you are sworn in as a president? Enoch Chihana says 100 days.
Yes.
He's going to change everything.
Yes.
Forex will be available and all these challenges, 100 days. What about you, Honorable Muluzi?
We would like to start now.
Yes.
We would like to start the conversations now. I'll be engaging with the National Planning Commission, I hope.
Yeah, but they are talking of 2063.
Which is not feasible.
This is 2023. We cannot be talking of 20. We need to talk about 2025. We need to talk about
Exactly.
2015.
Exactly.
Some of us will not be there 2063.
2063 vision is
Why should we be talking about 2063?
Exactly. And this is what I've been saying throughout.
Yes.
We can be talking about Vision 2063, but it does not resonate with the needs of Malawians.
We need
today.
Forex today.
We need the immediate challenge to fix the problem today. And that is why I'll be engaging with our National Planning Commission, because I think we have to find a solution. We'll be engaging the next few weeks with colleagues. External partners are coming in. We're going to have another conversation with the local private sector, and hopefully we're going to engage government. We would like to find solutions now and start to demonstrate to the people of Malawi our capabilities now, not to wait until 2025.
How are you going to do that outside government?
We have...
Because some decisions need the endorsement of government.
The decisions,
yes.
In fact, the majority of the decisions need to be endorsed by government.
Yes.
But I think it will be very clear where the bottleneck will be, because as I've mentioned, you need a competent and very honest team in government to be able to deliver the changes that we'd like to see take place. First and foremost is, how do we ensure that we begin to find solutions now?
Okay.
And the first step is to have the conversations about those solutions today, not tomorrow. We have to start now, because if we continue the way we're going, by the time we reach 2025, Malawi could potentially be a completely failed state. So this will have a detrimental effect on the new administration coming in. I'm a believer that we have to work collectively, either whether you're from an opposition party or the ruling party. We are in a situation where Malawi is at the bottom. We're in a very dire situation. We need to find solutions now. And that is why, as part of a leadership, is to try to open the conversations, to reach out to all the political leadership, the faith groups, the business community, the media, to convene, to say we need to have a conversation with the National Planning Commission about the immediate solutions to the immediate crisis that we're in now. We have the tools, we have the mechanisms in order for us to deal with this. We know where there are the challenges. We know that the issue with the international community is to do with our lack of decisiveness in dealing with corruption. We know where the problem is. We know the inactiveness of the Anti-Corruption Bureau being able to send the right signals. These are things that can be immediately be addressed. The other problem is the management of the economy. I think there's some policy inconsistencies that have been implemented because of populism, rather than being implemented because they make economic sense.
Like what?
Land reform, for example.
Okay.
There have been very popular statements that have been made. For example, foreigners should not have access to land.
Yeah.
It's a very popular thing to say, but it damages your economy, because we belong to a global community. The minute you make such a statement, you're immediately sending a signal that you're not welcome to foreign direct investment.
I see.
So there is policy inconsistency. There have been populist statements that have been very damaging to the credibility of Malawi's economy, and also to provide confidence. At the moment, there is no confidence within the private sector. Zero. There is no investor confidence outside Malawi. Zero.
Zero?
Worried about the future. There's no foreign exchange. The economy, inflation is very high. There is no solution. We're not providing solutions. So this is a time where leaders need to provide solutions. And at the same time, my appeal is to our universities. We have experts there, economic experts. We need to engage in these discussions. They need to be able to critique. If I'm coming here before you, Brian, and I'm offering a solution, they need to be able to critique me, to say, is what Atupele is saying true? Can it happen?
Yeah.
I need to bring in the experts, the global experts who are backing me, that I'm working with, to come and engage in an honest conversation.
And who are these global experts you're referring to?
We have a number of international experts that...
who are giving you money?
No, it's not resources.
Okay.
It's ideas. It is to do with knowledge,
Yeah.
to learning from them. Some of them have developed economies.
Yeah, so when you go there as what? Because you're not yet the leader of UDF. So you go there to talk with these people as what?
So I belong to a number of organizations. I'm first and foremost, I'm in private business. I'm sitting on a number of boards. I'm also seen as a political leader, an African leader of this generation.
Yeah.
We are having very interesting conversations about the digital economy. This is a new type of economy that is going to come out of because of the conversations on artificial intelligence, AI. Recently, we were launching Starlink in one of the African countries. We're hoping to bring this technology here to make sure that people have greater access to internet, have faster internet. I was able to experience internet as fast as a minimum of 550 megabytes per second at a cost of a fraction of the cost of internet access here. This will completely be a game changer for countries like Malawi. That is why there are powerful conversations that are currently taking place. So if you see me with former President Walesa in Poland, for example, or if you see me attending the inauguration of President Tinubu in Nigeria,
yeah.
or you see me on the global stage in Abu Dhabi, is because they recognize the potential of the younger generation that is fighting for a new Africa, that realizes that we have an opportunity where we can leverage on new ideas, leverage on existing new technologies, for example, artificial intelligence, that I've mentioned about.
Yeah.
These are conversations that are taking place. And as a businessman, I'm able to interact.
So you went to Tinubu's inauguration. They gave you police and military escort as what?
I'm also the vice president of the Pan-African Business Forum. This is a consortium of young African leaders, business leaders, and others. So it's a very powerful, very...
So my question is, how connected are you with the current Nigerian government?
I'm connected throughout Africa. We have networks throughout Africa.
Yeah.
And that's why we're saying that we are being left behind. Malawi can... they are looking at huge opportunities. Are you
personally connected to Tinubu or his vice president?
No, my organization is connected to a number of leaders, and I attended the inauguration of the president and the vice president in Nigeria, and I've also been in a number of other countries as well, holding conversations about the future of Africa, the Pan-African vision, how we can build our economy, because I believe that this is the time for Africa.
Okay.
We are going to become the largest economy in the world. We have a youthful population. We have the largest resources in the world.
Yeah, but coming back home, we now have 50+1. Will UDF go it alone? Can it amass 50+1 of the national vote?
My advice is the UDF should stand alone.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, it cannot be possible, it may not be necessarily true, but I'm thinking that I don't think any party will amass 50+1 in the first round.
Okay.
I think there's a likelihood that this election may go to second round.
Okay.
And therefore, that is where the discussions around alliances will come in. But I believe that the UDF...
In the second round?
It could be possible that we could be going to second round.
Okay.
But my advice is UDF should stand alone as an entity into the next election. If no one attains 50+1, we're now talking about a second round. In the second round, normally that's where you have discussions around potential alliances.
But you are certain UDF will go alone in the first round?
That would be my advice. And I would think that UDF needs to stand and present it's got a very unique history as a party that ushered in democracy, a party that was able to bring in a number of developments in the country, especially governance institutions, accountability institutions that are failing. I think UDF has a good story in terms of democracy, human rights and accountability, but also ensuring that it created the foundation for economic development, which unfortunately we've not yet seen the democratic dividend as of yet. But I think there's a powerful future and a powerful case that the UDF can make to represent a new generation of leaders, my generation of leaders, who would like to come in with a new voice and would like to see a very different Malawi.
There is a general outcry in this country, especially on those who buy cars outside this country. MRI has imposed some difficult rates.
Yeah, conditions, yeah.
And people are worried.
Yes.
I wanted you to chip in this conversation. They are saying we don't have money, we don't have Forex, and they are limiting people from taking Forex outside this country. If you were the president or someone in charge, how would you have handled this Forex issue vis-a-vis the importation of second-hand cars?
Nchito ya utsogoleli ndikuonetsetsa kuti anthu aja samafinyike, anthu azikhala osangalala. Mukudziwa kuti UDF imene inabwera mboma 1994 inatsegula inapanga liberalize economy kuti Malawi athe kukhala ndi mabusiness osiyanasiyana ena mapita maiko osiyanasiyana kugula magalimoto, maminibasi. It opened up the economy. So kumva kuti there are these restrictions, it's a sign kuti there is something very seriously wrong. Gamuti amira muna mugula 2 million kwacha, mupezeka kuti mukulipira duty yosa jepera 4.2 million. This is it's a big sign that the economy is not working, that there's a serious crisis, serious problem. Mungo maiko anzatua, you see it's completely different. Even the confidence of the people.
The confidence of the people.
It's different.
Yeah.
No, now we're in a deep crisis. Tuvomereze kuti zafika povuta. Mukaona kuti zikuchitika choncho ndikuti zinthu zafika povuta. Nthawi imene ndikumbukiraso zinachitika momwemo ndimene nthawi ya late Professor Bingwa Mtarika 2011-2012 foreign exchange itavuta.
Yeah.
Tinaona some measures ngati amene wawo. Ndio mwadziwira kuti zinthu zafika povuta. We have a big problem. It's a crisis, and we need to start talking about solutions.
You think it's the right way to do it?
We have no. I mean, and as a kalaya di impact upanga my business, and the business, my livelihoods, ambila kala affected. It's a sign kuti ndi two tilipa number 3 pama iko
okay.
Zativuta. Yeah. It's a sign kuti nthawi kuti tipeze solution. Kuti tikonza vuto imene bwanji.
Democracy yathu ya kwima bwanji, and I'm asking this question chifukwa chipani chanu cha UDF chimene chidabweretsa democracy ndale za matipate. It's been years now. Democracy yathu ikuyenda bwanji in your opinion?
Democracy yathu sikuyenda bwino. Chifukwa democracy imene kubweretsa zipatso zache. Zipatso zache ndi kuonesesa kuti miyoyo yathu ikusintha. Chifukwa ena amangoganiza kuti democracy ndi maufulu chabe. Yes, maufulu ndofunika kwambiri. Koma democracy ndi ma institutions aboma, democratic institutions of government. Amene amathandiza kuchepetsa katangale. Amene amathandiza kuonesesa kuti tikuunika mene zinthu zikuyenda mdziko muno. The media, my organization osiyanasiyana, civil society. Kuonesesa kuti miyoyo ya Malawi ikusintha. They're having a better quality of life. Koma takatu kuona billions in drama zambiri zikonongeka chifukwa cha katangale. Drama zambiri za Malawi akapita kuchipatala akupeza kulibe mankhwala, chakudya chosakwanira kani afetereza maskando izizi zikuonesa kuti democracy yathu si kuyenda. We need to strengthen our democratic institutions of accountability, of oversight. Chinthu china chodandaulitsa kwambiri ndikuti we are now at a very interesting time in the world, and there's a fine line now being drawn between democratic leaders and those who are authoritarian. With what is happening in Europe with the war, there's a fine line now, whether you are for authoritarianism or you believe in democratic principles. Zikuonesa kuti kuno ku Malawi we are going to be a victim of that. We have to make a choice. Either we are for democratic principles of accountability, transparency, good governance, or we would like to go the other way of authoritarianism. Others may have chosen an underlined position where they would want to choose between the two.
Yeah.
But we are at a very critical juncture in the world today. And that is why there is a conversation. Kuti, there is something more serious that has happened. We know that there are many benefits to internet and social media, but it has also brought in a monster, which is fake news.
Yeah.
You and the media know very well. Fake news is now what is driving the world. We're no longer having the real discussions and conversations, whether on policy issues, where the public and population is being overtaken by fake news and instant news that is not verified. That is now brought in a new wave of populism, which is rolling back democracy. Populism is now taking us back to autocratic rule. And that is why there is a very real need to kutantamvesese what democracy is about. Because when you have populism coupled by fake news, then you have weak institutions of government, a weaker media, weaker civil society. People are going by the fake news that is there.
Yeah.
It is not credible.
Yeah.
It is you in the media that provide credibility to information.
The current government has said that it has been difficult to drive some of the developments here because of the war in Ukraine, because of COVID, because of disasters like Cyclone Freddy. Komanza tupa Zambia pa Tanzania zikuyenda.
Yes.
With the same challenges.
Yes.
Tinvisit.
Maiko anzatu ambili zikuyenda. Koma, we're full of excuses. We want to blame something else, and that is why the issue of fake news is coming in.
Okay.
Populism is coming in, because antu sakumva zenizeni.
So zenizeni nziti.
Zenizeni.
Are these excuses making sense to you?
No.
By the government of Malawi?
It is an excuse to run away from the real issue.
What is the real issue?
They don't want to face the issue of corruption. The international community has made it very clear. The IMF have made it very clear. If you want to get support, you have to follow the principles of good governance to deal with the issue of corruption. And this is what you must do if you want to meet the requirements of the bilateral lending institutions. We don't want to deal with it. So we're all over the place. There is no clear, consistent policy direction. There is no clear consistency, foreign policy. We're all over the place. And there is no real plan or strategy in terms of how we're going to get out of this situation. Our friends are doing very well. Kale zimateka kupita ku Mozambique ni Malawi kwacha. Amaita mangira Malawi kwacha. Yesane mbilo Mozambique ndi 500. Muone mena ikani. Maiko anzatu akutukuko kusati maseko. Things are moving because they have mechanisms they have, the systems are working, and this has generated confidence locally and internationally.
The extended credit facility imene tikuyembekezera kwa IMF iteka
Takadikira.
ndiye mati IMF anauza chani?
Well, there are clear parameters,
Okay.
conditions that we have to follow in terms of meeting requirements, one of which is the issue of corruption. This decisively dealing with the issue of corruption is also one of the very serious issues that is affecting us, but also our monetary and fiscal policies, making sure that we are managing this prudent monetary and fiscal policies. And I think there are some challenges that are with Malawi at the moment, not meeting those requirements.
Yeah.
And we seem not to be making progress. And when we go to the international community, to the world, we are not able to raise our heads high to say we are a model country in terms of good governance.
Yeah.
That we are willing and ready to receive foreign direct investments. That your investments are safe. As I mentioned earlier, we've also sent wrong signals in terms of policy inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Issue of land reform, for example.
Yeah.
Foreigners are not allowed to have access to land. That sent very bad signals. What we've done to the tobacco system, the IPS system, what we have done in many other areas. Because, you see, it's not lack of ideas also. It is not having a credible and honest team to deliver on those things. This has also not instilled confidence. We have many who have come in to help the government to reform 50 areas of reforms that they have failed to implement.
Time is running out. By 2025, how old are you going to be?
2025,
Yeah.
Brian, I think I'll be 47 years of age.
I know you are married to Angela.
Yes.
I'm asking these questions because these questions, they are not normally asked.
Yes.
You might become our president in 2025. So you'll be 47 in 2025.
Yes.
You have kids?
2 children.
Okay. Their names?
My son is Baraka Kai. My daughter is Christabel Almira.
You failed in the last elections as a parliamentarian, and also we know what happened. You had partnered with APM. Does that give you confidence for tomorrow?
Absolutely. The history has proven that, one, the rise of any greatness is always through small beginnings. And when you go through seasons, because God gives us seasons, it makes you stronger, it builds you. The Atupele you see now is very different from the Atupele that you probably would have met.
He's more
some time back.
Richer now, flying private planes, I hear.
The Atupele
all over the
of
world
today
is
one that has gone through the mill, has gone through life, the challenges of life.
Yeah. Got defeated as a member of parliament in Machinga.
And you're coming out stronger.
Coming out stronger?
From a point of defeat, absolutely. And that is the mark of training. And I believe, and as someone who is a believer, God puts you through training. And that training is very important and must never be ignored.
I want you to look at that camera. As your parting shot tonight, 2 years to the general elections, after having all these conversations, as Malawians are going to bed tonight after this program, what should they sleep on? What will be your parting shot to Malawians? Over to you, sir.
I want to give you confidence that a new Malawi is coming, and it will be a Malawi that will be great and will be great again, and perhaps even greater than will ever have been before. I have full confidence that God is with us, and He has blessed this nation with abundant natural resources, human capital, and richness. We will be great. My role is to make you more confident about the future and to give you hope.
Honorable Atupele Muluzi, quite interesting hearing you talk tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
joining us
Thank
tonight.
you very much, Brian. Thank you very
Well, on that note, we conclude this week's edition of Times Exclusive. In this edition, I was honored to have the Right Honorable Atupele Muluzi, immediate past president of the United Democratic Front, and in this program, he has confirmed he's running for the UDF seat and also for the leadership of this country in 2025. He's certain that he's going to get the nomination from the UDF. We are looking forward to the next 2 years with interest. My name is Brian Banda, and from all of us here at our Lilongwe Bureau, thanking you for joining us tonight, and goodbye.